All right. Hello, everyone. Dwight Howard nearly stormed the TNT studios to fight Shaq. Have y'all heard about the story with Dwight Howard and Shaq? Well, if you haven't, it seems like Dwight Howard has had enough of Shaq, if you know the story. But before we get into that, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. We just recently hit the 1,000 mark for us followers, subscribers. I really appreciate y'all. If you are not a subscriber, and you're just tuning in, I appreciate you for joining the Mr. Magic family. My name is Mr. Magic Buffett Coleman, and I do good videos, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And if y'all do like the videos, make sure that you like and subscribe. And if you have any comments about Shaq and Dwight Howard, make sure you leave some comments, because I like for my subscribers to chime in. So let's get back to this story with Shaq and Dwight Howard. So y'all, if you know anything about the great Shaquille O'Neal, the TNT analyst, and former, basketball player for multiple teams in the NBA, legendary Shaq. We all know Shaq. Then you have Dwight Howard, who is was a great basketball player within his own right. Not as known as Shaq, but was really, really good. They've had a beef for a very, very long time, y'all, in terms of, Shaq thinking that Dwight Howard wants to be him. And but I'm gonna tell y'all where it started, okay? Because y'all know I'm a basketball, I'm a sports guy. I'm a former basketball player, and I'm a current basketball showman all over the world. So I know a little bit about basketball, right? And I recall back in 2008 when Dwight Howard wanted to be Superman. Y'all remember that? When when Dwight Howard was in the dunk contest, and he basically opened his shirt. He had a cape on, and he called himself Superman. Well, if you think back, Shaq used to be referred to himself as Superman, and I really think that's when things got personal between Shaq and Dwight Howard. As a matter of fact, I think Shaq has like Superman tatted on his body somewhere, and that kind of just where everything kind of started many years ago, and they've been beefing ever since. They've said little remarks about each other, in the news or in certain stories about each other, tweeting different things. And so now it's kind of boiled out of control. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what has happened. As I stated in the headline, Dwight Howard nearly stormed the TNT studios to fight Shaq. It got that bad. It's bothering Dwight Howard just that bad now. Los Angeles former NBA star Dwight Howard has reached his breaking point with Shaquille O'Neal of his constant criticism, revealing on the GAUDS show, okay, that's the name of the show that Dwight Howard was recently on. He said he nearly confronted the Hall of Famer on TNT Studios to settle their long-standing feud. NBA Central, which is a sports source, this is what they basically put on this is what they tweeted about the incident. Dwight Howard is fed up with Shaq constantly talking about him, and says he wanted to show up at the TNT studio to confront him. And this was all because Dwight Howard was on the God show. I think the name's the name of the show, and he was talking about his interaction with Shaq over the years and kind of what they've been going through. And he said he's just at a boiling point where he's ready to put the hands on him. And I'm going to quote what Dwight Howard actually had to say about Shaq. Okay, I'm quoting this. Okay, he said on the show, he said, "I was finna roll up to the studio and be like, yo, what's the deal with you? At this point, it's like, do we need to throw hands? If we got to fight it out, then let's fight it out. There's so many people that we can bring together, but yet you have an attitude about what? You are 50-something years old, almost twice my elder, and basically still giving me a hard time." And that's a quote from Dwight Howard. And just so you know, the tension between the two centers basically started back to Howard's use of Superman moniker. Remember I told y'all that back in 2008? And it has escalated through heated social media exchanges. O'Neal took to X earlier this month. Just in case y'all don't know, I just recently saw this. I missed this one, which Shaq recently said, but he said, this is quote Shaq to Dwight Howard: "The fact that you think I care about you is funny. A sensitive big man, a jokester that can't take a joke." And as you all know, Dwight Howard is a really, really big jokester. He loves to joke around, clown around. And Shaq would always be on the set, and he would say, "Man, Dwight Howard doesn't take the game serious, and he could be a really great dominant center, and but because he plays around too much, he's not as good as he could be." And honestly, he's always like made it hard for Dwight Howard. And he's always criticized him. He really has. I mean, if you watch him on TNT, it's always something, you know. If he doesn't average 20, if he doesn't average 45 points and 25 rebounds and six blocks, then he's not a legitimate big man. End of discussion. You know, this is Shaq. This is how Shaq's talking. You know, he's like, he has to do it. If he doesn't do it, then he's not qualified to be in my league. You know, that's Shaq for you. I've seen him do it many, many times. And so, you know, is it really because of jealousy of the whole Superman thing, that the persona that Dwight Howard took on back in 2008? You know, it sure does seem that way. You know, I don't know, but that's what Dwight Howard has accused him of, and just says the man has a personal vendetta against him. And so let's see here. Howard fired back at Shaq after his recent tweet and said, this is quote, this is Dwight Howard. He said, "You too big to be this insecure. 52 years old tweeting at me. You always been jealous of me. Jealous of Kobe, jealous of Penny, D Wade, you jealous of Charles too." And y'all know Shaq and Dwight and Charles Barkley has had it out a few times on back on TNT on the set, right? I mean, y'all can just look it up. Look up heated exchanges between Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal, and they got pretty heated. So, but Dwight Howard is pretty much accusing him of saying, "Hey, you're a jealous person, right? You're a jealous guy." The 8-time All-Star explained that O'Neal's criticism has extended beyond public commentary, alleging that Shaq has attempted to interfere with his appearances at events. Y'all get that? Basically saying that it's personal to the point that Shaq has been a gatekeeper in keeping Dwight Howard from getting certain opportunities. And you know, Shaq has a bigger name than Dwight Howard, and you know, he has more influence. But this is what he's accusing him of. Howard also referenced a lengthy direct message from O'Neal questioning his legacy. So basically Shaq is, you know, saying Dwight Howard's legacy is not very good as far as a basketball player, which is just simply not true, y'all. I mean, Dwight Howard was a great basketball player. You know, he wasn't Shaq. No, there's very few Shaqs. They had two different styles. One guy was dominant. You know, he'd back you down, dribble. That's Shaq. You know, left, right, slam dunk on you. You know, or little left hook, right hook. Shaq was very versatile down there, but he more let's play bully ball. Dwight Howard was more of a guy that would, with more finesse, but strength, but finesse. He was a great shot blocker. He could score the basketball. He could rebound extremely well, especially when he was with the Orlando Magic. So to say that Dwight Howard wasn't a good basketball player, and he's not to the standard of Shaq, or if Shaq's trying to hold him to his standard, that's just ridiculous because there aren't very many Shaqs. However, Dwight Howard was a very, very good basketball player, and I think it needs to be, I think he needs to just lay off the guy, to be honest, you know. And but anyway, this is kind of the beef that they've been having. Every conversation and every time I hear or see something about Shaq, it's disrespecting me. This is what Dwight Howard is saying. You did your time and I did my time, and we still going along with this pettiness. And what point does it stop? Right? And then continue to diminish Howard's accomplishment. O'Neal recently dismissed Howard's 2020 NBA championship with the Lakers. Y'all remember Howard won that championship with the Lakers? And he basically saying he was a bus rider. This is what Shaq said about Dwight Howard, basically saying that he didn't contribute to that title, right? And O'Neal has shown no interest in resolving this conflict. Dwight Howard even went as far as, y'all remember when Dwight Howard was on, I think it was Dancing with the Stars. And from my recollection, he had a friend that was friends with Shaq. And he had a friend that was friends with Shaq, a mutual friend, and he told the guy, "Hey man, I'm fed up with Shaq, basically saying negative things about me and saying derogatory remarks about me. Go talk to the guy. Let's sit down and try to have a talk and work this out, in which we can now just move forward with our lives. We're no longer in the NBA." So Dwight Howard has made numerous attempts to try to, squash this beef, but here recently, like I said, he was so fed up, he wanted to go to the studio, right? He said he was almost at that point where he was going to walk in. And can y'all imagine Shaq and big Dwight Howard? I mean, Dwight Howard is a chiseled man, and Shaq is huge. So those two trying to battle it out there, I wouldn't want to be in the room with them when that happened, right? And so, but yeah, Dwight Howard said he's just fed up. And I don't know how this fiasco is going to end, but, it just seems like every time there's an opportunity for Shaq to criticize him, he does. And now Dwight Howard is just at the point where he just, he can't take it anymore. So this is going to be very interesting moving forward to see how this goes. Um, so basically, yeah, this is what we're looking at, y'all. Shaq and Dwight Howard. I just want to say, a lot of times, there are instances in which people are jealous of you, and that may be the case with Shaq, with Howard. Howard using the Superman moniker. And I know in my profession, okay, I'm a professional basketball showman, played with the Wizards, tried out with the Harlem Globetrotters. And so I'm in that basketball space. And it's ego driven, man. There's a lot of people, when you get to know these people personally, you realize that, people wear their emotions on their sleeve, and they have big egos. I'm one of those guys. I stay away from that. I'm just living my life. I'm not trying to focus on who can I do who's more, successful in this category. I'm just living my life, living in my own lane. But I do know that sometimes when you're in a particular industry, just like you guys maybe have a certain job, a career, or a certain occupation, what happens? A lot of times your colleagues are jealous of you because of your success or your progress, and vice versa. It's like a competition thing. And I say it doesn't have to be a competition. There's enough room and space for everybody to thrive in this world. Just do you. That's my philosophy. I'm not worried about, and I have many friends that play professional basketball, with the Wizards, Trotters, and guys that have been in Nike commercials, guys that have, been in movies, basketball movies. And I'm just doing what I do. I'm a professional motivational speaker, helping kids all over the world, do a one-man basketball show. I've had some great accomplishments through my life, working with Master P halftime show during the GMGB League, just different, accomplishments over the years. But I'm not in competition with anyone else, and concerned with what they're doing and how well they're doing. However, in most spaces, there is an ego issue. And I think that's what may be happening here with Shaq, me personally. That's just my take on it. He is pretty hard on Dwight Howard, and basically saying he didn't live up to his standard. But in reality, Dwight Howard was a really solid basketball player. Okay, he wasn't Shaq. But, if you look at his numbers overall for his career, Dwight Howard, particularly when he first came in the league the first 10 years, especially when he was with Orlando Magic, Dwight Howard was a really, really good basketball player. So I can't see anything but Shaq just being upset behind this whole Superman moniker that Dwight Howard brought out back in the 2008 dunk contest. And y'all can look back at the video where he had the cape on and he was, open the shirt like he was Superman and at the Superman logo, and he's flying like he's Superman. And so I think Shaq really took offense to that. However, Dwight Howard said he's tired of it, and something is going to have to happen really soon if he don't quit. So, but anyway, I just wanted to share this story with y'all. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but Dwight Howard is at that point where he said he's going to pull up on Shaq. So, at some point, hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't advocate violence, but this is what we're dealing with. And at some point, you have to let things go and just be adults about it. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with y'all about Shaq here today. As you see today, I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm here at the look at that. That's the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid, which I thought this would be a good backdrop for y'all to see. I'm here in Memphis, and I'm just, having a great time here so far, just making a stop. This actually is just the Bass Pro Shop's, water flowing heritage center, Ducks Unlimited Water Flowing Heritage Center, which is really, really a nice architecture here. Building structure, whatever, here in Memphis, Tennessee. All right, so with that being said, I hope that y'all enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you like and subscribe. And once again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, because I do make good videos. All right, and comments. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section, because I love, that's one of my favorite parts, is just seeing how you guys chime in. You if you're a sports fan, or if you're just a general, if you're just a person that's just general, if you're just a fan of I guess, famous people or popular individuals and how they interact with each other, y'all chime in, leave me in the comment section, okay? All right, so with that being said, y'all have an awesome day. Take care of yourselves, and until next time.